Hey guys, Tyler here. Thank you for checking out this video. And I'm finally back with another pet tame video, so we have at least 10 more for all 3 hunter specs here in the World of Warcraft. So whether you play Marksman, Beast Mastery, or Survival, I've got you covered. And there's been a couple of expansions that have been excluded over these last couple of videos, so I'm going to make sure and go to Shadowlands like you can see here in Bastion. Also going back to BFA, and we'll have quite a few from Legion. So, let's get started.
Mr. Eggplant presents...
And we start this video in the Warlords of Draenor expansion. And WoD may not be a favorite among players, but it does have some of the best hunter tames in the entire game. And the first pet on this list is going to be the Felbound Wolf, but there is a little bit of legwork involved with this one, but trust me, it's worth it. So I'm here in the Tanaan jungle, and I'm just to the south of Fang'rila, and we're going to be killing this NPC, the Fel Raven Inara. I'm sure I said that wrong, but you're going to go ahead and loot her, and you're going to get this item, the Vial of Fel Cleansing, and that is going to help us cleanse a Felbound Wolf and allow us to tame it. So these NPCs are actually aberrations right now, so they are not tameable without this item. And we're going to fly over here to the Temple of Sha'nar, and we'll go and find one of these beautiful, beautiful wolves. There's usually one just walking around here, which there's one right there. So the Felbound Stalker. So we're going to take that item we just looted. Where is it? There it is. And we'll throw it on the wolf. It turns into the Felbound Wolf, and now we can tame it. And it will just kind of sit there, and you have a full minute to tame it. And there we are. Have a brand new wolf to our collection. I'm actually surprised I have not added this one to a video before, because this is one of my favorites in the entire game. So it is the 6.0 wolf model, but it has that beautiful fel green, and the corruption is still coursing through the fur and through the body there. You can even see it on the mouth. Absolutely amazing pet, and I would often see multiples of these for Beast Mastery hunters. And also this does match the meta mount from the Hellfire raid. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the second pet on my list, and we'll find ourselves in the Onaran Plains in Dragonflight. Alright, and this next pet on my list is the one currently beating me up, which is Nerga for short. I'm going to actually move out of this cry real fast and go ahead and start my tame. So this pet is not easy to come by. In fact, this is the first time I have ever seen this pet, and I played the entire expansion of Dragonflight. So it is found here in the Onaran Plains, and it just follows this red route here on the map, and it does go in a counterclockwise motion. So you want to go clockwise when you're looking for it. The easiest way to actually collect this pet is going to be to do it at server reset, because it usually spawns about 5 to 15 minutes after server reset. Think of this pet as like Nazaranaki from Mulgore, but in Drake form. It does have that, it's like the tail strider, and it's got, it's like a combination of a plain strider and a Drake. I really like this pet. It's very unique, and it's pretty sought after still, and you actually need it for an achievement that I just finished as well. Another thing you can do is have an amazing friend like Rend here join on an alt and then go into Chromie time, and it was readily available for us. So I hope you guys will add this one to your collection. Let me know if I can help you find it, and let's go ahead and move on to the next pet on my list. And keeping with the Fel theme, the number 3 pet on my list is the Fel Raven. And normally you can find the Fel Raven flying around the Hellfire Citadel in the air. You can try to land on one of these spires, but it's a pretty tricky tame. The easy thing to do is go to the Shadowmoon Exile, which is how you queue up for LFR for Warlords, and then you'll just talk to him here, and you'll look for the one that's just before Shadow Lord Iskar, which there is one of these ravens just before it. And the Bastion of Shadows pops you in just before that encounter. So we're going to queue up for it, enter the LFR, and go claim our prize. This is probably my favorite Raven, even more than the Rukmar, but don't tell him I said that. Anyway, we're going to pop right into here, and there's these 3 delusional zealots kind of summoning on this Fel Raven. So I'm just going to auto shot. I'm going to be very, very careful not to accidentally attack the Raven. I'm going to let this zealot do his little cast, and then let's tame the Fel Raven. You can get as many of these as you want. You just go back in and re-queue. It's super, super easy. Now, Iskar isn't super happy that I took his prize, but I certainly am. Even though this pet is, what, 5 expansions old at this point, these things look so, so cool. I love the Fel look. The Fel Fire, they had to have updated that. That looks pretty good for Warlords of Draenor. But if you are a Beast Mastery Hunter, you could easily pick up 2 of these. Maybe run with one of these and the Felbound Wolf from the beginning of this video. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next pet. And we're going to finally go back to Dornegal, or at least the Isle of Dorn, for the next pet on my list, which is Plaguehart. And the number 4 pet on my list is one you've probably seen quite a bit, which is Plaguehart. And Plaguehart is a unique model. It does have this charge. I'm going to try to beat it. There we go. You can always trap it if you don't think you're going to beat the charge. But this is a unique model, and this is here. I should probably show where we are first. In the Isle of Dorn, just to the south of Dornegal. The coordinates I am at right now are 5069 in the Bosk Root Basin. And Plaguehart is one of the new Shale Horns. And the best part is that this guy is a unique model. This is the only one that has all of these fungal growths on it. And I actually really, really like this one. And this has been in a few different videos, or at least had planned on being in one, that I was going to make just for Earthen Hunters. It just didn't end up happening, but this is the only one in the game currently that all of these fungal little, I don't know, tumors honestly appear on it. And the best part is the topper here is just kind of sat on his head. So if you look at it from the right angle, you can kind of see the actual body underneath. But we're going to move on to the 5th pet on my list. We're actually going to head back to Legion. It's been quite some time since we got a Legion pet, and all the way out to Argus itself, to the dungeon seat of the Triumvirate. So for someone who doesn't post a ton of Legion pets, there are a ton of Legion pets in this video. And coming in at number 5, I'm going to keep getting attacked here, but coming in at number 5 is going to be the Warp Stalker, and it's found the easiest in the Seat of the Triumvirate, which is one of the dungeons on Argus. So to give you guys an idea, this is in Legion, and then you come to Eridath, and then over here on the left side, you'll go to Shadow Guard Incursion, and then you'll go south here and you'll follow it around until you get to the opening of the dungeon. From there, you'll kill the first boss. You'll pop down right here where they cut that hole, and then you'll be here waiting for these ads to spawn and spawn the second boss. But what we're after is just these guys right here, which are these Warp Stalkers. So I'm going to go ahead and tame Beast here really quick. The Shadow Guards are going to be very upset, but it is what it is, because this is the cool part. So these Warp Stalkers actually keep this look. They actually keep that void look, and it looks so, so cool. Although he's pretty smooth brain right now, I won't lie. He's very, very smooth. But this is a Warp Stalker that was added, way back in BC, but they got some more love in Legion, and this is a very unique model for a unique look, I should say, for the Warp Stalker, particularly if you are a Void Elf or you want to play a Nightborn, something like that. But let's go ahead and move on to the next pet on my list, and we're going to head back over to Dragonflight. And coming in at number 6 on my list, we're back here in Dragonflight, specifically the Onaran Plains, and we're after Karkidan. And Karkidan is just behind me over here, and he is a red Armorodon, which was added in Dragonflight. And we have this one here. So he is an elite mob, so if you're level 70, maybe you use the Frost Trap first. Let me go ahead and start the tame here. And it does have a charge, so it's probably going to knock me up, which it does, but that's fine. Let's just restart the tame, and then we won't have to worry about being interrupted again. Again, you could just use a Frost Trap and you don't have to worry about it. So he is a Scale Hide, so think of a Scale Hide as in like the Thunderheads in Southern Barrens around Camp T, for example, if you are a OG Horde player. But this is one of the same models as the different Keystone Master mounts for each season of Dragonflight. Very cool looking pet. It's very unique. It almost looks Diablo-esque, but this is found here in the Onaran Plains, and it is currently the only red skinned Armoredon in the game. And we're going to go ahead and move over to the next pet on my list, and we're going to head back to Shadowlands. And for the next pet or pets on my list, we are back here in Bastion. And Bastion was added in the Shadowlands expansion. I know, kind of scary. And currently, I am at 5580 on the map, or just to the south here, near the Aspirant's Crucible. And it has to do with this NPC here, which is the Orator Chloe. Or Chloe, I guess. So whenever you talk to her, she will spawn 3 different ads, and then you can tame each one of these. So this one here is a beast, and the cool thing is they are slightly transparent. Go ahead and do that real quick, because this is really not the one I'm after. This, however, is one that it looks exactly like my gem hide from way back in Legion that I used, and one of the first pets in any of my videos. But now, if you talk to her again, ready to test again, and then she's going to spawn the next one. So there are 3 different ones, and the Courser is the last one we're after. So this could technically be a 3-fer, but this is the one I'm after officially. So she's going to spawn it. So you could pick any one of these 3 if you'd like, or all 3 for that matter. So I guess that's kind of like the bonus, if you will, in this video. But this is the one. Aethon is the next pet on my list. Go ahead and tame it here. And this is actually weird because there's another pet on the list here in just a second. I don't normally like to put the same pet families on a video, but this one was cool, and it's a 3-for-1, so why not? And they are all kind of phantasmal. Let's go ahead and move them over here so we can actually get a good look. So you can see through Aethon there. Really, really cool stuff. They're always up, and then you can add the lion, or you could also add the turtle. But like I said, the turtle had been in a previous video. And now on to the next pet on the list, which is going to send us back to BFA. And the next pet on my list brings us back to BFA, specifically Vol'dun. So you're going to come down here to the port of Zimlan, which for me right now is at 3177, and we are looking for this guy right here, the Soultainted Cobra. So this is a pretty cool looking cobra because it is an albino cobra. So to my knowledge, this is the only one that is completely albino. And then the funny thing is the picture actually has red eyes, but oh, this one actually does. This one does not, though. So there is slightly different variations. So this one actually has like green eyes, and this guy over here has red. So I have to pick up the red one. Sorry, Tamer. This one is all mine. And there's that guy off real quick. All right, let's see what this guy looks like. Pretty cool. This is a model that we've seen quite a few times here on my channel. Merektha, which is one of the bosses over Temple of Sethralus, the Shade of Damballa, that is also one of these. But I really like these. The hood looks really cool, and it's just a very sleek and awesome design, and in my opinion, much better than the classic version of the Serpents. And coming in at number 9 on my list is actually right behind me, which is Jojo the Palestrider. And to get Jojo, you have to come to Azuna, which is in the Legion expansion, and come up here to just under the words Ley Ruins of Zark Hanar, and he's just running around with a bunch of friends up here. I feel really bad because I'm going to take him away from them. But the cool thing is Jojo the Palestrider actually retains his name. Didn't always do that, but it does now. So go ahead and start to tame here. Nice thing is that turns us for us, not a problem. Go ahead and get rid of these guys here real quick. Let's look at Jojo, and he's a little bit smaller than I thought. I probably have that that glyph of lesser proportion if I had to guess. Look how tiny he is. He's very majestic. And this one, I do believe these did get a little bit of a visual update in Shadowlands, since this model was used a lot over in Bastion. Kind of hard to see with all this foliage, but he's very majestic, very cool. And this one actually does share the look of one of the mounts. I'm gonna go look really quick. I believe it's the Pure Heart Courser. Let's check that out real quick, because I am always a huge fan of pets that match mounts. Pure Heart Courser. Yes, that's for 100 exalted reputations. So if you want something that's going to look like this mount here, Jojo is your pet. And this is a quest mob, so it's up all the time. Like, it's constantly up. And now we're going to move to the final pet on my list, which is probably the oldest pet on the list. And last but not least, coming in at number 10 is the OG of this list that was added all the way back in 1.11, which is Gruff, the Thunderhead, Thunder Lizard, if you will, if you're around Camp T way back when. And he is found in the Terra Run in Ungoro Crater, and he's officially a Scalehide. So he always appears in this one spot, basically straight down from the R and the O in Terra Run, and my location coordinates currently are 3278 in the zone. And this one is not super unique other than the name itself, but he has missed one of these lists for I don't know how many times now, so he naturally has to take his rightful place on one of my lists. He does keep his name, so he is just a fun tame, and this is one of those pets where, yeah, you probably won't see it a lot, but when you do, you know that there's a story behind it. And plus, pretty sure he's blind too, which is pretty cool. You don't really notice that on a lot of different pets. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I hope you got all the way to the end and showed Gruff some love. Please let me know down below what is your favorite pet from this list. And I have another list already cooking, and I'm going to be going back to Legion, and there's a certain Panther set of pets that will be finally gracing one of these videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.